of many finales here for a lot of different series. So happy to see this thing back on the schedule and back in its correct spot here at the end of the season. Points championship already decided. Kevin Foster already your points champion, so really nothing for him to lose tonight. He can try and go balls to the wall and try and get that fourth win of the season, but it also kind of frees it up for everybody else to kind of let it all on the line and maybe get their first win of the season. But the points battle for second place still up for grabs. Jeremy Line Watkins right now holding a slim 14-point margin over Paul Butler. And we've seen how quickly the points can change for first place between Foster and Line Watkins. And if Line Watkins continues this little bit of a slide, he can see that second place go by the wayside as well. But 75 laps are going to be on tap here tonight, and it looks like you got a decent sized field here, about 13, 14 guys the way it looks right now, and a mix between guys that have been running the entire season, a couple new faces out here, so should be a good one. But we will, as always, be joined here in the booth by my friend and your friend Jimmy Covert. How's it going tonight, buddy?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. Just making sure everything's straight, good to go here. I think you were turned down a little bit there in the beginning, but we got everything back on straight. But no, we have a good turnout here for the last race. What'd you say, 13 people? Course, uh, home track per se. Virtually, and to some people, a lot of people like racing here. So I just seen them out there practicing a little bit. I'm noticing some five wide tonight, Carl. So who knows what's gonna happen tonight?
It's a total shocker, but it would be a total shocker if it wasn't at least three wide with these guys. I mean, we've seen it the entire season. They don't waste any time. 75 laps, they'll be 3, 4, 5 wide probably on lap 2 if they even make it that far before they go 3, 4, 5 wide. So these guys do put on a great show. I mean, obviously, if you've tuned into any of their broadcasts, you've seen some really good shows, some really good tight close battling, and this is going to be your typical. It's going to be a little bit of pack racing here tonight, and we'll see what it turns out. I mean, last week, or should I say 2 weeks ago, on our last race at Nashville Fairgrounds, the win decided by .061, and that's a small margin regardless of what vehicle you're in. But in these Mazdas that go pretty slow, considering that is an extremely small margin. So that was Adam Jones beating Kevin Foster there at Nashville Fairgrounds, and I mean, even you go back to Richmond being decided by about a quarter second, Homestead being decided by less than 2/10 of a second. So these guys are always coming up with some good finishes, and it's put on some great battles throughout the entire season. So I'm expecting to see one more right here because I know a lot of these guys obviously are familiar with Kansas, and they will certainly let it all hang out on the line here for the season finale.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to lay it out here. They enjoy this track. These cars are fun to drive around each other. They have a good time while they're out there on the track for the time that they're out there, and just overall, it's almost like it was a Monday night fun night. But these guys are racing out there. They're doing the best they can, and they make it very interesting to watch and just hone their skills on, and just take it forward. Whatever car they drive and whatever series that we have, because we have pretty much a race every single night, except one. So there's something for everybody here in Core. So if you're out there watching, come on and join us and see what your skills are like, and enjoy the fun.
Yeah, certainly coming to the end of this month here is when all the series will be kicking off. So this one again is the finale for the Mazda series. A lot of people are already looking for this one to maybe make a return in the future, but there's going to be an off week on Monday next week, and then the IndyCar series, the core IndyCar series, is going to be starting up on Monday nights, starting in 2 weeks. So we'll be right back here in the booth in 2 weeks on Monday nights, broadcasting that, and that's already shaping up to be a pretty good size field, and there's already going to be some different qualifying rules to make sure we're putting on some good shows out there. So really looking forward to that one. And then, as Jimmy said, end of this month is when everything starts kicking off with the Camping World Truck Series on Tuesdays, Xfinity on Wednesday. Obviously, we have our Vintage Series that is still going on Thursday nights, and then the Cup Series is going to be starting on Friday nights, and of course the Premier Series as well on Sundays. But Right now, we are just about finished up with qualifying. Just got a couple minutes left, and it looks like Adam Jones on the top right now. Last night's winner in the Premier Series, Paul Butler, up there in third place, and you see right there Kevin Foster, your points champion, dropping in a time there in second place. So a lot of good names at the top right now, and again, you got some new guys in here too, trying to kind of make a name for themselves already right from the get go. I see Brandon Polt in there in the number 29. Jonathan Cogswell also in this session. Not sure if he's going to put a lap down here or not yet, but again, some new faces, and we've seen before new faces pop into these series and show their muscle right away and even grab some wins.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see new guys show up. It just kind of adds to what we're doing out here, and get racing around each other and just kind of get to know one of each other. And this is a good car and track to do that on. And definitely hang out and just have fun. And just try to win, keep it clean, and put a show out there for everybody that's watching.
Well, certainly the one that's had the most fun this season, wrapping up his first ever core championship, and it's been a long time, Kevin. We talked about it a couple weeks ago when he wrapped it up, but Kevin Foster, it's got to feel like an especially happy homecoming here, coming to Kansas and being able to kind of savor the championship and even go for a win here at the end.
It truly is. Kansas, yes, as everyone knows, it is my favorite racetrack on this beautiful simulator we get to call iRacing. Yes, coming home, already having the championship wrapped up. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. And when I saw the schedule, I knew I had a chance. And then, I was like, even at the last race, I should have a good showing because, well, it's home.
So certainly a great season for you. Some ups and downs, a little bit kind of in the beginning and in the middle, battling with Jeremy Allen Watkins pretty much the entire way, and then it seemed like you really hit your stride towards the end of the season. So again, coming here to Kansas, this is not what anybody wanted to see with you in the points battle. But again, you talked a little bit about it a couple weeks ago, but how does it feel to finally get that first championship under your belt?
The air smells better, coffee tastes better, my steaks are better. I've cut grass like no other the past couple weeks. It's just life in general is so much better. Um, Man, it's been an unreal, surreal feeling to finally get the monkey off my back.
Well, I think certainly an understated, thing right there, where all the practice on iRacing certainly helps you hit your marks out there on the lawn. So certainly, if a good way to practice right here. But 75 laps here on tap, and I'm sure I already know the answer. But how long do you think it's going to be until everybody starts mixing it up and you guys are going 3, 4, 5 wide?
Should be by lap two. At least everyone gets caught up at lap two, and we should be able to go 3, 4, 5 wide then. And this track, you can hold it wide open. I hope no one's listening, but the high lane is where I'm going to spend most of my time because you get a good run off the very top because it does have a little more banking, and you don't use scrub as much speed up there. So I found that out during practice. So hopefully those guys are not listening, and I'll see you at the top of the racetrack. Be banging down the boards tonight.
All right, well, mum's the word on this side of the the broadcast. So we will let you go. I see you guys out there getting ready to go. So good luck, and we will, I'm sure, see you at some point during this race, if not in victory lane again.
Amen. So we pulled Rusty out of the barn, and she's ready.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck out there, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, Jimmy. So it looks like we are getting ready to go, not wasting any time here. Pace car lights are already out on this field. So obviously you see the rundown up there on your screen. We'll get the track map up on here, but you see everybody grouped together, everybody ready to go. 46, Adam Jones will lead the field to the green flag here, which will be thrown momentarily. Green is in the air for the last time this season in the Mazda MX-5 Oval Series. We are underway here in Kansas.
Now we are. Quickly, Paul Butler closes up on Adam Jones to give him that shove down into turn one. Obviously, pushing him out in front of Kevin Foster that we were just talking to. So Paul's on the way to the front. He's running on a high from last night, and he's definitely gonna try to show what he can do here also as well.
Yeah, certainly going to be no time at all for these guys to start grouping up. As you see it already, I don't think they realize that they're done pacing right now. They don't have to stay too wide, but already you see towards the back there a little bit. We got 3 wide already with Paul Owens looking to the high side and making it work right now. Still 2 wide for the lead, but it looks like your champion, Kevin Foster, going to go ahead and lead that first lap. And behind him, the swarm of bees are coming. And it is 4 wide on lap 2. We called it right there. 3 wide for second, 3 wide for third. It's 3 wide pretty much everywhere out there. Very tight right there. And it looks like a couple of the guys maybe making some super speedway moves here and fall into the back of the pack. They see it getting a little bit rough, and there it is already. That is going to be our first caution of the night.
And that one there, I think, is going to involve Paul Owens.
Looked like
Looks
the
like
71 of Jeremy Line Watkins came down, got into the 19 of Jonathan Cogswell, who in turn turned up into the 54 of Paul Owens. And not sure if his steering wheel turned off there or he was just stuck on the outside there. But yeah, just a rough situation right there. And a good job avoiding the second contact there from the 71 of Line Watkins. But you see it right there. Maybe a little bit of net code started it, but then a big turn down right there from the 71. We'll try and get a look from either the front or the back and give you a better look at how the contact happened there. But big impact there by the 19 and the 71, and the 54 getting either stuck in the wall or maybe some equipment malfunctions. As it looks like from that view right there, the 19 does come up a bit, but then right there, the second contact of the 71 and 19. So just to think a bit of a racing incident is that first little contact may have got the 71 a little squirrely, and you see the mirror go whipping around and then finally flying off of that one. So you see it week in and week out. The mirror usually stays on, but that's apparently how hard that contact was. Yeah, the mirror actually flew off for once.
that thing just won't go away. No matter how hard you try to take it off, it just dangles. Very rarely will just go flying off. Definitely Paul Owens out there doing what he does best, putting it in the wall early and making friends. But it wasn't his fault this time.
For once, this was actually not his fault. So that's a good thing. That's a good start. But unfortunately, getting tied up early, and that's going to take away his fast repair. So he's going to have a long night from here, as we're still going to have 72 laps to go, and he certainly didn't want to waste that fast repair this early.
No, he's definitely not taking that fast repair, which will give him some pit time. So hopefully he can maintain on the lead lap there. It looks like Dane Simpson decided to stay out along with Tim Thompson. Terry Jansen's all the way up. So definitely some guys decided not to pit and just move to the front.
Yeah, Dane Simpson pulling a B. Vishwasam move there by staying out on the first caution, grabbing that lead, and certainly our thoughts are out there for a B dealing with unfortunately COVID right now. So hoping that everything works out for him, and it's a speedy recovery. We've seen him out here last night in the Premier Series, so hopefully everything goes well for as long as it takes. Hopefully it's a quick, speedy process. But actually, I didn't even notice he is actually in the field tonight. I'm kind of shocked that I seen the first caution. I did not see the 08 up front. It threw me off a little bit. So racing through the pain right now. So this is maybe his flu game, like Michael Jordan out there trying to get one last chance at a victory here at Kansas. But we're getting ready to grid back up here and getting ready to go green with Dane Simpson, Tim Thompson on the front row.
I mean, you can only be quarantined and do nothing for so long, so gotta keep your mind busy as you're recovering. And if you you can manage to push the gas pedal, turn the wheel, why not sit down and have fun?
Yeah, and certainly a track like Kansas makes it a little bit easier, as it's not a road course. It's not something like a short track where you're really having to rip the wheel back and forth. It's, I don't want to say a nice leisure Sunday drive, because these guys don't make it that at all, but We are back green as the 96 is back on the loud pedal on the inside. He gets a nice jump on the 05. You see Metler there jumping down to the bottom. He's going to try and make the pass on the 05 of Tim Thompson as they head down into turn 1.
Yeah, it doesn't take him long. Or maybe that first wreck will thin him out here for a little bit, but Adam Jones is down to the inside of Tim Thompson as they exit turn 2. And what a run he gets as he goes to the inside of Dane Simpson, making it 3 wide before they head into turn 3.
On the apron, he's going to work his way back up on the track. He's going to work his way back into the lead as well as Dane Simpson and Brandon Metler fighting back there for second place. Metler having a bit of a rough night last night in the Premier Series, getting knocked out of the playoffs. Not something that we expected really to see, but unfortunately, one missed race and then a bad finish in the round in the playoffs in the Premier Series, and it will certainly send you packing early. But still a long season left for those guys over there, and you got the wild card and everything like that, so certainly not out of the mix yet, but. Here we go again. I mean, it's a second lap from the restart here, and already 3 wide back there for 4th place. Looks like Jansen backs out a little bit, but the rust bucket, as Kevin calls it, on the outside, making that outside work already. He's got Crockett right behind him, and you see it is a group all together right there. All looks like about 12 guys up there, 13 guys maybe up there in the lead, and the 71 of Line Watkins just kind of hanging back there. He had to use his fast repairs, so just trying to survive now for another 60 laps or so, and then maybe trying to make his way back up through the field.
Many of these races we keep watching, I'm having to go to the blimp view because they're just so close together. You want to catch all the action.
Yeah, I mean, it's iRacing has a function with the cameras where you can click on most exciting, but I think it probably just defaults to the blimp view because everything is exciting throughout the entire field with these races. 2 wide up there for the lead as Metler trying to make that outside work, and he will, looks like, barely lead at that lap right there. 77 of Butler going 3 wide now for 3rd place, and he's going to try and make that outside work. Does it for 3rd. Now trying to get a little side draft off the 15 and trying to make it 3 wide, and will through turns 1 and 2 as he tries to vie for the lead up there.
Adam's going to tuck down to the bottom because he knows something might be coming.
Again, good move by doing that as they were 4 wide, and another big wreck right there. And that is going to bring us our second caution. And they just got to 4 wide, and that's exactly what can happen. I mean, you can do 4 wide here, but you have to hold your breath and hold your line, and neither of those are easy things to do.
That was
certainly
just,
involved the
wow.
96 of Simpson. It involved the 05 of Tim Thompson right there. And again, the 19, not a good start for him in his core career. Getting collected in both of these first 2 wrecks here. And again, just as the 46 dives down to the bottom to try and fall to the back, he makes the right move at the right time because they wreck pretty much right as he's falling back.
It's almost like it's almost like he knew it was coming or something. He goes down. These guys go down the backstretch.
As you see, the 96 is on the inside there, and it looks like the 05 comes all the way down. Looks like he got a little bit loose coming up into close to the 54. Pretty bad net code there, but it looks like they were going to get together one way or another, unfortunately. So that one going to be on the 05. And that's what 4 wide racing can do. If you're a little bit sketchy on holding your line, or you have somebody jump out there 4 wide and you think you're only 3 wide, it can catch you that quick. So rough one for a couple of those guys getting tangled up. But once again, we have pit stops, and looks like we have Terry Jansen and John Crane staying out there. We'll see if they come back in or if they're going to stay out there and assume 1st and 2nd.
Terry Jansen could be out there, hasn't been wrapped up into these incidents and has been able to just basically continue his run and, finds himself he can get a lap led tonight. These guys are exiting pit lane after taking, looks like, 4 tires and fuel. go ahead and pull up their pit strategy and see how long they've been on track here. Let's see pit lane time.
And it looks like as they come by pit lane here, the 78, who's yet to pit on the nights, he's going to stay out there and he's going to be your leader with John Crane in second, Brandon Mettler third, Paul Butler fourth, and Brandon Polt in fifth. As the lights are out, we're going to start gridding it back up already right here, and we're getting ready to go here on lap 13 when they take the green.
Pace laps seem like they take forever sometimes. Them lights go out and you're just wanting to go back racing. And I think it was last night, Carl. We got down to the end of the race and somebody said something about time as we were closing in to the end of our race last night, and it didn't feel that long. It was just having too much fun last night.
Absolutely. It's and that was a bit of pack racing as well, and just a couple of rough situations that getting caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's what's happening so far tonight.
Yeah, I'm hoping here to see these guys. They'll probably clean it up a little bit, maybe take it a little easy, so they can get some laps in. As we're only 12 laps into this race, so we have plenty of racing tonight, folks. And pace car is off as Terry Jansen will lead them down to the start finish line. Terry Jansen's on the loud pedal as he will take the lead going down to turn one. Brandon Mettler is on his bumper with John Crane on the outside as Kevin Foster is working that really high line outside of Paul Butler for third place currently. Terry Jansen is able to hold the lead going down the backstretch. They are now 3 wide for first with Kevin Foster to the outside of John Crane, Terry Jansen inside. Paul Owens going ahead giving Kevin Foster a good push around the outside. But it looks like Terry Jansen's able to pull out just a tad to the center of the corner, but that outside of the track just, man, it's a good run. But Terry Jansen is able to lead a lap, so here we are, 3 wide, or at least 2 rows back, then back to two wide.
I mean, it's you'd think that the little bit of wrecks in the beginning would slow these guys up a little bit, but if you paid attention at all the entire season, these guys just have no slope in them at all, and you see the entire pack there hanging together. Unfortunately, it looks like we lost the 19 of Jonathan Cogswell. He got caught up in 2 big wrecks pretty early, so a tough race for him, and you hate to see it. Tim Thompson and Dane Simpson are both caught 2 laps down there, back out on the track, so needing some help to get back up there, and a little bit of bumping up front there, as it looked like I'm not sure if that was Brandon Polk getting the side of Terry Jansen, but Mettler trying to work his way back up there, and they're nearly 5 wide up there. And again, it can happen, but you really, really have to be in a special mood, I guess, if you want to call it that, especially when you're going in the corners. And it looks like we're going to go at least 3 wide here for second. Now it's moving up to 3 wide for first once again. And I'm not sure where I'd want to be. I guess if you're on the inside, you have the best chance of making things work, but anything can happen no matter where you are. I mean, you seen Dan Simpson was on the inside last lap, and and he got taken out. But I mean, right there, you can't really ask for much more. 4 wide for the lead, 3 wide for fifth, 3 wide for, what was that, eighth? I'm losing track of numbers here. They're all over the place. It's a heck of a race, and we're only 16 laps in.
They have 50 plus laps remaining. This is insane.
They don't care, Jimmy. They really just don't care. this is every time they come around. Maybe they're a little colorblind and they think the green is the white. And every time they're taking the white flag, it seems like that's how they're driving, lap in and lap out. And there's another one.
Whoa.
And that is the big one here at Kansas, as that was a move that looked like it just should not have been made. There was no room to try and fit the car in between there. Not sure who that was. We'll take a look back and see who that was. But certainly not enough room, and it looked like it might have been Metler as Jansen had the lead coming off the corner there. He gets down to the bottom, and I think Metler thought he was going to come up a little bit further, but he did not, and he just kind of gets pinched right there.
Let me just rewind that just a little bit here for folks to actually see actually what was happening here in front of Paul Owens, as he was right behind this. And it looks like just a little bit too close for everybody.
And then once again, Owens looks like he got through that with a little bit of a scrape on the back end, but it almost like he didn't even get contact there. It did give him a little bit of damage, but looks like everybody from there on out kind of made it around there without too much damage. And Terry Jansen's still staying out there, and maybe he's got the right idea. You know, and maybe not, because it sounded like his car
I
just blew up.
Yeah, I just seen a puff of smoke.
Yeah, and you see him pulling down on the apron. Looks like his car has just blown up on him. So he may have to tow back to pit lane, and that strategy of staying out there may have just blown up on him, so to speak.
Literally. And there he goes. He would be towing back to the pits. So
Real shame to
unfortunate
see
for
that.
Terry, but he tried to make it go around and keep it going, but iRacing gave him a little bit too much damage that he could stay up. So he is forced to pit finally. It looks like after all the pit stops have been remade, it looks like Paul Butler is out in the lead right now with Matt Crockett in second, Adam Jones in third, Brandon Polton fourth, Abhi Vishwavasan hanging in there in fifth, Paul Owens in sixth, Kevin Foster in seventh, Brandon Mettler in eighth, Jeremy Watkins in ninth, John Crane in 10th, Dane Simpson back in 11th. He's our first one lap down, and then now Terry Jansen and Tim Thompson also behind Dane with Jonathan Cogswell. Unfortunately got wrapped up into some wrong spot, right time. Or yeah, wrong spot, right time. Wrong spot, wrong time for Mr. Jonathan Cogswell tonight. But hopefully he'll come back out and we'll see him. Well, not in this series, but maybe in one of our other series.
Absolutely, I believe he's ready to go for the IndyCar series. So be interesting to broadcast that one as well. I know there's going to be a lot of close battling with those guys as well. So a little bit of a change in strategy for that season, as the fields are going to be skimmed down a little bit for the ovals, as only the top 15 qualifiers are going to make the quote unquote top split, and the main race, the one that's going to be broadcasted by myself and Jimmy. That's going to be for the ovals. The rest of the field from 16th on down will race in their own session for the same points as well, basically. And then for the road courses, everybody is going to be on the same track at the same time, so we'll see some bigger fields there for the road courses. But want to try and make sure it's not too cluttered and clustered for the first season for the Indy cars, because you know it's one thing banging sides with these Mazdas. You can certainly get damage, and even banging the sides with the trucks or anything else like that. It's one thing, but when you're banging side to side with Indy cars and open wheels, eh, you're gonna lose tires or damage tires pretty easily. So figured keeping those fields thinned out just a little bit may help for a better season, and at least give a chance for everybody to kind of feel them out for a season, and then maybe make some changes in season 2.
Yeah, I mean that car's a lot of fun. The Indy car there, and it definitely is challenging as they're fast, high downforce, and something that we haven't really tried very much, not since I've been here, running a full series of them. So looking forward to seeing what these guys can do, and watch them progressively get better. I mean, I think the road racing, and as soon as they learn how to gain patience on a lot of these tracks, especially on ovals, you'll see a lot of clean races, and I think they'll be a lot of fun.
Certainly some big names are signed up for that series as well, so looking to see some really good action at the front. But at the front right now is Paul Butler. He's on the loud pedal. He is off and away. Matt Crockett on the outside trying to chase him down, and it looks like he got a decent enough start to hold everybody back. He's going to fall in line behind Butler as they head down into turn one, and he's going to pick up that draft. And that's one thing that it's going to be interesting when it comes to the end of this race. You know, not sure where you want to be if you really want to be the leader, because if you get a big jump like that, you see he got a pretty, sizable jump and lead going into turn one, but you see by the backstretch, he's already getting gobbled up by this field. So it's almost one of those things where you don't necessarily want to get that big of a jump, because it's going to give those guys behind such a big run and a chance to get around you. But he's going to stick to the inside. He's going to stay there, and he's going to be ahead of Adam Jones, but on the outside, 3 wide. The other Paul Owens, looking to try and get up there and lead his first lap. And that one's still going to be Paul Butler at the line, very, very close there. Another good photo op moment for the front pack here, as Brandon Polt is up there in, actually, sorry, that's Matt Crockett in third, right behind these two guys, and Brandon Polt right behind him in fourth place, as a little bit of a breakaway for about 3 seconds, I would say, before these guys all catch back up.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. You see John Crane just splitting the guys down the middle, getting a huge run, being able to catch the tail end there of Brendan and Brendan Polt, that is, and standing outside as those guys go inside and still gaining. So, Paul Butler's still in the lead. John Crane with a move, and then Brandon Metler is on the outside, trying to steal the lead even away using the outside lane.
And I wish we had some kind of ticker to show where Brandon Metler came from that last lap. I think entering turn 3, he was back there in about 10th. And by the line, he was running for third. So just goes to show you how quick these guys can move from the back to the front. And this is pretty much super speedway action at its best. But here at Kansas, at the 1.5 mile Kansas, about to go 4 wide once again. We've seen this happen a couple times, and we've seen what happened. We'll see what these guys can do this time. But single file for first and second, 4 wide for third, 3 wide back there for 8th. So these guys just throwing caution to the wind still, and not worried about everything that's happened so far. Putting on some good racing, and at least everybody got through that clean, as you see a big move by Adam Jones there, diving down to the bottom, and no yellow line here tonight. So any kind of moves will work if you can make them stick.
Yeah, that was a big move, from top to bottom. Gain position and close in on, which would be, 4th place there. So these guys continue to battle, nose to tail, just running around this track.
Pretty much all a single pack here. Terry Jansen back out on the track. He is 2 laps down after blowing his engine and having to tow back to the pits, but still out there. And, these guys did mix up a little bit in the first third of this race and caused a bunch of incidents. See Adam Jones dropping to the bottom, and now we wait for the caution. Looks like for once Adam Jones dropping to the bottom did not cause a caution. Maybe we should have caused those first 2 cautions on him and send him to the back, so we didn't have to watch the cars mix it up on the outside of him. But either way, they are out here and just really battling all over the place. Matt Crockett stuck to the back of that 77 Paul Butler, and it almost feels like they're trying to break away, but they just absolutely can't. The draft in these Mazdas is just unlike you see in a lot of cars. I mean, these things draft better than a lot of the trucks, the Xfinity cars, the Cup cars, a lot of NASCARs. These Mazdas draft that much better, and you can easily you see guys go from the back to the front real easy.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Adam, drop down to the inside and go all the way to the back of the pack. And he's already, caught the pack again. He's on the tail end of Jeremy Line Watkins. So I'm sure he's just kind of watching to see what the leaders do so he doesn't get tangled up into another incident. But he's able to just keep on driving, as I'm sure he's just kind of picking and choosing when to go. And, it's not long a lap. You can go from, let's see, Dane's in. Where's Dane?
Dane's in 11th place, 1 lap down right now.
Okay, so he's not technically in 10th place, and you can go from 10th to 1st in a lap. I mean, It's pretty insane the draft and the run that these guys can get.
It's like that second lane finally working. Metler was able to clear and get into the lead of that second line, the middle line, as Kevin Foster now goes to the outside. Metler was able to lead that lap and steal one away from Paul Butler there. Again, Butler still got some things to race for here tonight as he is battling with Line Watkins for that second place in the standings for the end of the year. So, really trying to get up there, trying to keep it clean as much as possible. And I think he's one of the few that's actually been clean this entire race so far, as getting a little tight there in the battle for third between Matt Crockett and John Crane, as they got close a couple times, but everybody's staying clean. And another car dropping down to the bottom. Looks like that's Polt dropping out of the bottom. Not for sure if he's just trying to fall back a little bit and stay out of the carnage, because we're about to go 3 wide for first and 3 wide for fourth. And somehow they are making it work so far, but it is certainly nerve-wracking here up in the booth. I couldn't imagine what it's like down there in the cars.
I had enough of that last night. I'm good right here, Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at least these guys are only going a little bit over 100 miles an hour as compared to last night going close to and over 200 miles an hour in the draft. But either way, it's sketchy, and it looked like a bit of a sketchy move there by John Crane. Luckily, he had enough room to back out of it as he looked to go in between Metler and Butler, and that certainly wouldn't have worked out too well. But they backed out of it. We are still green. We are still clean. Coming around on lap 30 right now, coming out onto the backstretch.
Yeah, 40 laps to go, and I didn't get a chance to get out there to see what kind of fuel mileage these guys are getting. Did you get a chance to see kind of what their pit window's like?
I did not, and I really wasn't even thinking about it with those early cautions and grouping everybody back up. Not sure how long these guys are going to make it, and if they can make it in a long enough green flag run to have green flag pit stops. But they're doing a pretty good job right now, as we've been green for a little bit here, and the laps are starting to tick away pretty quickly. Again, getting a little close there, as Crane trying to get as much side draft off of any car that he can to try and stay up with his group up here. Adam's going to fall back in line right now. We'll see if he makes the run to the outside again. Everything's seeming to kind of settle down a little bit, at least only 2 wide, but it's, just moments away from not being that, as Adam Jones goes to the outside again. Crane looking to try and keep him out there and get a little side draft as well. He's going to stay in third for now, as they are about to be 3 wide there for third once again.
Yeah, Adam Jones picked up Jeremy Line Watkins, and then now they're on the move on the outside with Abivish Vassam hanging right in there, not too far off the tail bumper of Jeremy Line Watkins, and as he's hanging in there tonight. I was blinking a little bit, and that's not typical of Abby, but definitely hanging in there, staying out of trouble so far tonight.
Yeah, Jones and Line Watkins are kind of faux teammates. They do work with each other a lot and try and help each other out. So Adam most likely, kind of doing double duty here, trying to get himself to the front, but also trying to get Line Watkins up there and help him battle for second place here in the points. But looks like the front 4 are pretty much locked in right now, as pretty much pushing each other, as you have the 10 of Crockett working with Paul Butler on the inside, and then the 11 of John Crane pushing Brandon Metler on that second row right there. Line Watkins getting hooked up with the 46 of Jones on the outside, but they haven't really made too much headway on that third line right now. Not sure if they're just kind of hanging out right now, as you see the 46 dive back into the second lane.
Yeah, the 11 there, John Crane, just got a little loose a few times when Adam was coming to the outside. I don't know if it just made Adam check up where he lost his momentum. So looks like Adam tucked down behind John there, and Jeremy Line Watkins followed suit. So right now, currently running at first is Brandon Metler and Paul Butler fighting for the lead. Then Matt Crockett and John Crane, followed by Adam Jones and Brendan Holt, along then Jeremy Line Watkins, Abby Vassam, Paul Owens, Kevin Foster hanging out there towards the back a little bit, waiting for something to happen. And then Dane Simpson, obviously 1 lap down, and Tim Thompson 2 laps down. Terry Jansen is in pit lane as we speak.
Yeah, just see him coming down pit lane right now, so not sure if this is a scheduled stop or
Whoop!
he's just kind of bringing it in right now. But big mix up right there. Does a good job avoiding a wreck right there. Brendan Polk goes around on the inside. He's gonna fall back in line and maybe fall back a little bit right there. But a good job of everybody getting away from danger right there, and we fall back to 2x2x2.
2x2x2. These guys
It
just
looks
continue to put on a show. Just continue to run 2 wide, 3 wide, and will not stop. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean it looks like it's easy enough just getting alongside of a car and side drafting and keeping up there and doing what you got to do. But it when you're in that car, there's only so much you can see, and doesn't matter if you're in VR, doesn't matter if you have triple screens. It is still a very limited window of what you can see when you're driving in there, and you're really heavily relying on your instincts. You're heavily relying on your spotter in some cases, and this is a spotter's nightmare. I mean, granted, iRacing has it set and they know, what's going on. So, if you're using the iRacing spotter or any kind of other spotter package, they'll be able to pretty much, pinpoint it for the most part right on. But if you're an actual spotter up there on top of the stands as they go by right now and having to try and tell your driver you got a car inside, outside, or you're 3 wide, it's you might as well just, spin a wheel and, this is what I think is going on right now.
There's times like that I have a hotkey to silence the spotter because they just chatter too much at times.
And you see right there the 10 of Mac Rocket dropping out. I think he's had a bit of enough of that battle up front, and he's seen enough. And maybe pushing that long behind Butler. We haven't really talked about that. Is if these engines get too hot. I mean, we've seen Terry Jansen blow up. Not sure why he blew up. If if it was a misshift or if the engine just simply got too hot, or if he had damage that maybe he didn't realize. But seeing some of these guys drop out here and there, we've seen it from Adam Jones. Now we just see it from Mac Rocket. Maybe getting a little bit too close for too long heats these cars up, and you have to kind of fall back and cool them off a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get a chance to get much practice in, and I'm definitely wouldn't have been able to get in pack racing just testing. So, I mean, it's always a possibility. When you hug the front of or the rear end of another car or the front of yours, you take away that clean air that cools these cars down. So, I could see him possibly getting a little warm and then backing off to cool them down a little bit to make sure their car doesn't overheat.
Well, if Brandon Medler is looking to figure out what he's got to do and how he's got to get to first place, as we will have another incident right there. That one's going to bring it out. But as I was saying, if Metler's trying to time it and see what he's got to do to get to the lead, being side by side there, he's doing a pretty good job as he's led Butler to the line a bunch of times there. And that one right there looked like our friend that we've talked about multiple times now, the 54 of Paul Owens getting into the back of Kevin Foster, and just a little bit too tough of a bump draft there, and maybe it wasn't Kevin Foster, but I definitely seen it was the 54, and yeah, there you go, a little bit too hard of a bump draft that gets the 8 up into the wall and causes a bit of a chain reaction between those two.
And you can just see, Paul kind of touch him kind of in a wrong spot. It wasn't even square. So since Kevin Foster up into the wall, taking him up there, slowing him down. Paul has nowhere to kind of go. It just kind of drifts up and tags Kevin and ends up getting spun out again. So definitely a rough incident there. And hopefully Kevin has a fast repair and maybe Paul hasn't used his yet. And he'll be able to get back out there.
Yeah, Paul's certainly involved in a few incidents there, and you see, surprisingly, both mirrors hanging off of there. I mean, normally you only see the right mirror hanging and dangling, but Kevin Foster getting hit on both sides by the wall on the right and Owens on the left, and had both those mirrors dangling there for a little bit. But that's going to bring us to pit stops here, and this could certainly be the last pit stop of the night here, unless we get more cautions. Dane Simpson, your lucky dog, he will get both of those laps back now. He is back on the lead lap, and we'll see if anybody else is staying out there. Looks like the 05 of Tim Thompson is going to stay out. He'll get a wave around. The 78 of Terry Jansen getting a wave around as well, so those guys will be 1 and 2 laps down respectively. But we'll watch the drive off of pit road. This is going to be for the lead. And it looks like very close battle right
Oh,
there, but it looks like
looks like
Brandon Metler maybe getting a little bit back there as I had a little battle with him coming off of pit road last night, and I got the better of him, but looks like he got the better of Paul Butler tonight, and he will be at the front of this field. Butler in second, Brendan Polt, in third. Vishwavasan out there in fourth place, and Adam Jones in fifth. So the field will go ahead and catch back up here to the pace car, and we will get ready to go here now. Getting a little bit deeper in this race, and we're getting closer to well, we're just a little bit over halfway now, and still a lot to go yet. But these guys are starting to run out of fast repairs for some of them.
yeah, they're definitely running out of fast repairs, so you're wondering if they're going to be a little more cautious around each other. But this is the Mazda Oval Series. I would have to give that a heck no.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. And if these guys could go 5 wide on the pace lap, they'd probably do that. I mean, they just seem to feel comfortable that way. I mean, they probably wouldn't know what to do if they just got strung out and gone single file. So
Hey, you
we
see
will.
the pit times there, Carl. Where Metler was able to edge out Butler, and why he was able to come out in front. He only had a 6.4, pit stop in his pit himself, and then Paul had a 9.7. So it's definitely where he made up that time.
Well, wondering also, if these guys are having to deal with any kind of tires. I mean, I'm not sure if they're taking tires at all, or if maybe they're just hopping off on fuel because, granted they are driving hard and they're driving really tough around each other, but I'm not sure how much the tire wear is really coming into play. And you know, I can't say that track position means too much because we've seen guys go from 10th to third on a lap. But you got to feel like, if you're towards the front and you're in a position and you feel comfortable, maybe just, getting that fuel and keeping out front is what you want to do.
Yeah. So John Crane had a very lengthy pit time with 62 seconds. So my guess is he might have took 4 tires. That or he had some repairs that he needed to repair without using his fast repair.
Yeah, that certainly seems like repair times there being that long. I mean, I know these pit crews aren't the NASCAR type pit crews here on the Mazdas, but that certainly seems a little bit slow there unless they're using just tire irons to take these tires off. But either way, we're about to group these guys back up. We have now 11 guys as Dane Simpson comes back on there on the lead lap, and really still a lot to play for. Again, our second place guys that are fighting out of Paul Butler and Jeremy Lyon Watkins, still both out there, still in good shape to battle each other and see who comes away with second place in the points. But the bigger battle right now is who's going to get this win here tonight. A lot of guys looking for their maiden win on the season here and just trying to finish this season on a high note. Brandon Metler is going to be your control car getting ready to go here. Vishwavasan kind of hanging back a little bit. But Medler is on the loud pedal. He is going again. Third place. Brendan Polk getting a good jump. He is going to clear Paul Butler going into turn 1. We'll see if Butler drops down or if he's just going to hang in that second line. He is going to hang out there, and that's going to allow Adam Jones to drive up on the inside as well.
Yeah, well, we've seen these starts already, and as Paul decided to take that outside line, but even with those guys in a group of 3, he's able to kind of catch some of that side draft, and already alongside Adam, and about to go alongside Brendan Polk. We have a Brandon and a Brendan, so this can get confusing at times.
It's certainly going to. I mean, you thought you had your troubles with a B out there, and now you got just 1 letter difference between some of these guys, but not much difference between the speed of these guys as they almost were 4 wide there for a second. It's like Kevin backed off a little bit, but on the inside, it's going to be Adam. And yeah, looking about 4 wide there. Kevin was thinking about it, maybe thought a little bit better for now. But towards the end of this race, this thing is going to get mighty crazy.
Yeah, just to know that they can go. I mean, they can go 4 wide and hold it. So the guys just have to be, super careful and controlling their car. So I mean, it's good practice, and hopefully Mr. Netcode don't come out to play tonight as much as he wanted to last night, or he's shown his face a little bit here tonight, but it hasn't been too bad. So these guys continue to rock around here at Kansas. Paul Butler is still in the lead with Brandon Metler in second place.
It's like a B and Kevin getting together there a little bit. Kevin scraping the wall once again. So maybe roughing up the champ here a little bit and saying, you know what, you had your fun tonight and through this whole season. Now you can go ahead and back off and let us race for at least a win here tonight. As Kevin had 3 of the 7 wins going in tonight's 8-race season here tonight, and we've seen 4 different winners this season. So we've seen Kevin Foster getting 3 of the wins, Jeremy Lai Watkins grabbing 2, Adam Jones and Ricky Gonzalez each grabbing a single win by themselves. But I mean, a lot of guys, grabbing top 5s, pretty much the entire field at some point or another grabbing top 10s, depending on the field size. Obviously, it makes it easier if there's less than 10 guys, but 14 guys started the field here tonight. We still have 13 guys running out there, 11 of them on the lead lap. And leading right now is Brandon Metler on the inside, but Paul Butler trying the opposite here, as pretty much the entire last run, Metler was on the outside of Butler trying to make it work, and led pretty much each one of those laps as he just snuck ahead at the line. And now it looks like Butler's giving him a bit of taste of his medicine, as he's going to try to do the same thing, but Metler just nabs him at the line right there. So each of these guys trying to figure out what these lines do and when you kind of need to push and go, as the side draft dictates a lot. You've been in it. Obviously, last night, Jimmy, we seen how much the side draft worked. The side draft in these cars is pretty powerful, and knowing when to kind of get alongside that car and suck you past at the right time is very key, because as soon as you start going past, if you don't have a good enough run, that car that's on the other side of you is going to try and essentially suck you right back.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you wouldn't even think about it. If we didn't know about it, you wouldn't think about it. But there's so much draft coming off the side of the cars that helps your car gain speed and just catch up. And that's why you see a lot of times these guys kind of hugging each other. It's right now it's pretty good pack racing, and there's no real reason to be that close, except just to be real close to somebody and get them off their game. But definitely plays a role in how fast these cars close up. As you can see, like Kevin Foster had the rear draft of Polt there, and now he's on the outside as he continues to just creep forward, as he's going to gain the side draft off of Polt, and then continue that side draft off of Butler. So eventually here he should be able to pull up alongside of him. Now with somebody behind him like Crockett going to the outside here, it kind of makes Kevin pull back down in line there to make these guys just stay 3 wide and not go 4.
Well, and you wonder a little bit too, him getting a little bit of damage going up into the wall as they got together with Vishavasham there earlier. Wonder if that is going to hurt his arrow a little bit. We joke about the mirror getting knocked off and how with that not being on there, it's a little more arrow. A little less aero sensitive, and you can kind of cruise up through there a little bit quicker. But that could potentially hurt him, and there could be a little bit more damage there, as you see when he tried to step out there and try and make it 3 wide. Either he backed out of it, or the car just didn't have it in it anymore to try and be the one that's pushing that air. We take you on board here with Brendan Polt, and you see kind of what he's looking at, and what he's looking at right now is the back of Paul Butler. And to his left side, you have a car getting into him, and that is, it looked like Paul Owens there, as he's going to fall back a little bit. I did see it was a red car. It was just a red front of the car. That was the looked like the 11 of Jeremy, or of John Crane. So everybody now falling back in line. You see a big run there by John Crane again. Paul Butler has cleared the 15 of Brandon Mettler, and he will lead that lap there as Brendan Polt looking to the outside. He's trying to get up there and get a lap led, and looking for some friends behind him right now, and he's going to get it with Vishvasham as a move there again by Crane. Crane not making any friends tonight as he's looking to find his way to the front.
Hey, he definitely got his nose in there, and it wasn't much room as Adam goes diving in there, cuts down in front of Dane Simpson as they head down the front stretch.
3 wide and close to 4 wide once again as Vishvasham now throwing his hat in the ring. You see him get to the front a lot of times under caution as you see Adam dropping to the back in kind of a different spot that you normally see going into the corner. But again, Vishvasham looking pretty good out there, looking pretty strong and trying to find his way to the front under green. You normally try and see him working up there through cautions, but he has worked his way up there into 4th place and now battling for 3rd place outside of Brandon Mettler. So good to see him making a run up there. And the 71 of Jeremy Lyon Watkins working his way back up there as well, and not going to go away without a fight here for that 2nd place in the championship. So Butler's going to have a little fight in his hands as Lyon Watkins making a big move to the outside and still trying to work his way around Vishvasham as they both try and side draft off each other. And I'd like to say that these guys aren't driving that close alongside of each other because they're not having fun, because they certainly are having fun out there. But again, it's that side draft is just huge, and that's why a lot of times you see when guys are making those strong moves from the back to the front, going from 10th all the way up to 3rd, they're doing it through the middle because you're getting a double side draft. I mean, you're getting a side draft off the car on the inside. You're getting a side draft off the car on the outside. You see it right there. Adam Jones doing exactly what I'm saying right there, working his way straight up through the middle. And you see how fast and big of a run he gets now, using that run to get to the outside and trying to find his way all the way up to the front. So Jones just trying to figure out how long it's going to take him to go from the back to the front, as he's dropped to the back a couple times and then made his runs up there, getting a little bump from his teammate there, Jeremy Lyon Watkins.
Yeah, he definitely is, I think, testing the waters and kind of seeing what he can do. Is Jeremy's kind of push him in the corner, which can be dangerous, but if you can manage to work with a teammate or somebody you've pushed before, it is real possible, and it could benefit, coming out of the next corner.
I think the biggest thing is making sure you're getting guys square and you're hitting them without moving left or right as you're hitting the bumper. You've seen our last incident caused exactly by that, as Paul Owens got into the back of Kevin Foster, but he got into him as he was kind of coming down across his back bumper, and that's what hooked the 8 into the wall. And that's really the biggest thing, is you need to make sure you're hitting these guys square. And these cars do handle pretty well, especially, at these speeds and at this kind of track, that you can kind of maneuver back and forth pretty easily, which is good. But, when the car is that sensitive to all these movements, it makes that bump draft that much more difficult, because if the car in front of you is, at best holding it straight, you still need to hold it straight and try and make sure you're hitting them at the right time. Man, side drafting galore here, as Polt just not letting that 46 get up there and clear. 3 wide here for 1st place and dancing back and forth for sure. It's starting to get a little racy up here as we're under 20 to go.
Oh, there's a little tag by Jeremy, a little bit too much there for Adam Jones. So Jeremy had to lift just ever so slightly to kind of get off his bumper, and Adam was able to save it, but Polt just hanging in there outside of Paul Butler, as Paul Butler just continues to lead this race by mere split seconds crossing this line. So it's just, and that was just too close. I couldn't even call that one right there, Carl.
No idea. I mean, you could just pick a name out of a hat for that one, that close. And I mean, it's not shocking at all. I mean, these guys have been doing it all season, let alone all night tonight. So again, great battling here, and pretty much everybody's still in the mix. I mean, you got a couple guys that are 2 laps down, but a couple cautions, they can be right back in it. Oh, and big incident right there. Looked like it was the 08 of Vishvasham, and some more action up front as a couple of the guys getting into it under the caution. Not sure what they're thinking right there. You see the 08 of Vishvasam just getting a little bit loose and then tagging the back of Metler, spinning him around and launching up on top of his hood right there. Not the place you want to be in. Probably not what Metler wants to see. Maybe we'll have to take a look at the cockpit view of Metler on that one more time.
Yes. Come on.
As we show you coming down the backstretch, Metler hooked into the back of Paul Butler there, and not sure what happened there. It looked like the 08 just kind of got maybe a little bit loose. Not sure if the arrow kind of upset his car, but turned him right into the backside of the 15, and yeah, that's not the view you want to see right there. I mean, it's
nope.
We've seen it before in some other series like the Vintage Cup series, but not what you want to see here in the Mazdas. And now we'll try and take you back and see if we can show you the incident here. Right there, you see the 29. It looked like getting into the back of this 46 as they're slowing down, and that's just guys maybe not thinking clearly and not giving each other room. The caution was already out, so you hate to see that. It looks like everybody got away pretty much undamaged, but the caution's out. There's no sense running that hard anymore, especially when you're 3 wide. Look like almost maybe a little bit of a bump up there from Butler that sent the 29 up into him. So just it's tough, especially when you're running that close. Even when the caution coming out, you have to get off the gas, but you want to make sure that you're giving the guys behind you ample time to kind of realize that you're getting off the gas too. So just because it's under caution, I can't fault these guys. It's not the easiest thing to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely not. As you can see, some of the guys coming down in the pits, Kevin Foster in the pits, Brandon Metler in the pits, Paul Owens exiting the pits, Jeremy Line Watkins still sitting in his pit stall. So definitely unfortunate for some of these guys to get wrapped up into something that could have been avoided. But, it's all part of learning and, how people react. And, usually when the caution comes off, you kind of let up. But, when you're in the lead, you might stay in the gas just a little bit longer because there's nobody in front of you. They kind of give those people behind you a little more time to slow down. But definitely misfortune there. And these guys will get their cars fixed or not. And we're going to go green here in a couple laps.
Well, that's certainly what Tim Thompson wanted to see. He gets one of his laps back as the lucky dog. So he is only 1 lap down right now, 1 more caution, and he is right back in the mix here. So he'd love to see another caution out there. But looks like the 29 of Brendan Polt is going to be your leader here, still pacing under the pace car with the 77 of Butler second, Dane Simpson in third, John Crane and Adam Jones rounding out your top 5. Vishvasam involved in that wreck. He's going to get the EOL. So he's going to move on back there. But so Paul Owens is going to be your 6th place driver. And we'll see how these guys shake out after these pit stops here.
Yeah, at least it's not one of them tracks with them EOLs that really hurts. This one here, you can be right back up in the front in about half a lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to have to soon because we are starting to edge down towards the end of this race here as we are about to complete lap 61 and start lap 62. So it's just about go time. Well, it's been go time. Let's be honest, folks. These guys were go time since the drop of the green flag, and it's like this every week with this series. So again, we definitely hear it from the drivers, and we've heard it from some of you guys out there that this series has been pretty awesome the entire series, and hoping that we can maybe bring it back at some point soon and get some bigger fields here and really turn out some good shows again, because it's been fun up here broadcasting these guys for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I don't know why it's not actually like a more popular series, or even other. It's not a track, or not. Say you usually don't see these cars on ovals, so most of the times when you see these, they're just fun. But we had made up a whole series for these guys, just ovals, and these guys have just been having a blast. And I think the guys that do come out, they just have so much fun. And and I'm sure they're gonna miss the series just a little bit, as we're gonna put it on the bench for a little bit and bring out the Indy cars and test the waters with those cars and bring in other drivers and get more people interested, and just keep the variety going as like we do in core. So if you stay around in core long enough, you'll definitely be one of those members that have a majority of the tracks.
Absolutely, but the guy that has all of the lead right now, Brendan Poltz, is your control car, and he is on the loud pedal and going. Paul Butler getting a pretty good start on the outside there, but Dane Simpson is going to sneak up on the inside and try and steal second place away. John Crane getting to the back of Paul Butler right now. They're going to try and work that outside lane. Dane Simpson is going to clear, and he's going to get a bit of a run here on Polt. We'll see if he dives to the outside, and he certainly will do that. He's going to try and work his way to the front of this field.
It'd be interesting to see what Paul does here, to see if he's going to try to go out with Dane, and possibly, and just kind of get hung up as Holt just was able to hold on to that draft and have that run, and have Adam Jones just push him back, where he Polt now takes the lead. And look at the run that Metler has, going 4 wide as they cross the start finish line. Wow, where did he come from?
Not even a thought, and we've seen him do that before as they get a little bit close, and that's going to be another wreck right there. And unfortunately, it looked like that was just, somebody trying to come up off the apron. It looked like it was the 8 of Kevin Foster trying to come up off the apron, and the 71 maybe didn't realize that he was there, and he already had the 77 of Butler on his outside, and yeah, you see the 8 just come up right there and kind of assert his dominance, trying to be the alpha male there, and getting into the 71, and not, doesn't look like too hard a contact, but once these cars get a little sideways, you see just big wreck there. And unfortunately, between our two guys battling for second place in the points, with the 71 of Lime Watkins right there in your view, getting into the 77. And again, it looks like a B trying to drive up on guys' hoods, so maybe this is his MO tonight, and looks like he drove into Paul Owens' hood there for a little bit until iRacing realized that that's wrong. So
just wrong. just wrong.
We're gonna let these guys get sorted back up, but yeah, just a rough situation right there, and it's not. It hasn't really been one or two drivers here tonight. I think everybody's caused their fair share of issues. You see, even the champ right there causing his issues by trying to get back up on the track right there, and a real shame to see some of these guys getting caught up, but unfortunately, it looks like, unless he's getting the wave around right now, trying to see if the 05 of Tim Thompson was involved in that, or if he got his lap back, because that's certainly what he wanted to see, and there he goes.
Yes.
Pretty much the only one that wanted to see that wreck right there. Tim Thompson getting his lap back. He's back on the lead lap. So we are back to 11 guys on the lead lap, and it looks like Paul Butler, unfortunately, having to tow, because he is now showing 2 laps down right there. Certainly, that's got to be a killer. I mean, he was up front the entire night. I think that was the only time he's really dropped back in the field, and unfortunately getting tangled up as he does it. So that's pretty much going to end his night as we're this late into the race. That is a real shame for the 77.
Yeah, just wrong spot, wrong time, and and it happens quickly. So that's something you like to see, and as a driver, you get a little frustrated as things like that happen, where you're basically you're out of the race for the most part. I mean, you can get back out there and run laps with the guys, but if your car's not up to snuff and you didn't have a fast repair left, you're just now your lap's down. So it looks like he's going to end up going a third lap down here as the guys are coming down the front stretch here. As your current leader is Brandon Metler, as he had that huge run. Along then Adam Jones, Brendan Polt, which has been up front all night, followed by Dane Simpson, John Crane, Matt Crockett, Avi Vissavassum still hanging in there, Jeremy Lyon Watkins, and Tim Thompson now on the lead lap, and Kevin Foster has just pulled down pit lane, and then Paul Owens is in 11th, Terry Jansen back there in 12th place. He's only 2 laps down, and then unfortunately Paul Butler is eating some ice cream.
Yeah, certainly not what we want to be doing right now during the race, but right now during the race, Brandon, you find yourself up there in the lead. We've seen you make some just unbelievable runs from the back to the front, going from 10th to 3rd. And now that last run right there, where it just seemed like you were in a rocket ship and diving down to the inside to grab that lead. And seems like you do pretty much anything you want to do with that car and getting some amazing draft. What's it going to be like here starting out front? You are the control car with less than 10 laps to go, but with these guys making a run, is this really the place that you want to be?
Nah, well, based on my last run alone, I don't think so. I'm kind of nervous about my aero damage too, just because that last caution, I still had about a minute 15 of optional left. So I was really testing out the aero there in that last run to see if I could, still run by myself or still run in a pack, and obviously helped out to get that draft and huge run down the front stretch. But now probably just gonna have a late restart here, to be honest. Try to go on green, be as close as I can to the pack, so they can't get around to me and pass me too easy.
It looks like on our screen, the only damage we see is the, of course, the right mirror dangling like it pretty much always does. I think that's the stock setting with the right mirror just dangling like that. So hopefully that car is in good enough shape. You can make a good run out of here. But I mean, if not, if you somehow find your way falling to the back, we know you'll make one hell of a run to the front. So we'll let you go. We'll let you have at it, and wish you luck to the end here.
Appreciate you guys.
That was the 15 Brendan Metler, your man out front right now in first place. We'll see how long it can happen. You got Adam Jones there on the outside, Dane Simpson and Brendan Polt making up row 2, with John Crane and Matt Crockett making up row 3. Abiy Vishwasam and Jeremy Lamb Watkins making up row 4, and then Kevin Foster, Tim Thompson making up row 5. As again, we have 11 guys in the lead lap, with Paul Owens being that 11th guy. And he's always one to provide some late race fireworks here, if he can make it to the end of the race, which sometimes is a little bit of a challenge. But out front, it is Metler. He is going on green, trying to stall this field out as much as possible. He's going to get a little push here from the 29 of Brendan Polt as they try and get around that 46. But this is going to be a tough task here, as the 46 is going to get in there, get that side draft. Probably trying to stay off that dangling mirror of Metler as he tries to get around him. But already it looks like the 77 back in there. Again, 2 laps down, so he's going to try and maybe get a lap back here the hard way, going right up through the middle, and then hoping a caution comes out, as a little bit of a rough there between the 11 and 8. And still some dancing around. Everybody keeping it straight, so good job right there. But the 77, maybe in a little bit of anger, is going to find his way to the front of the field here, 2 laps down. Getting some help there by the 96, as, again, just a real shame. You see that 77 having plenty of speed. He probably just used his fast repair right there. I don't think he used it earlier in the race, but unfortunately the toe is what really killed him, as we are 6 to go right now. And forget 2 by 2. We are 3 by 3 by 3 now. Whoever is left is out there, and we just lost
Did we lose
Adam
somebody?
Jones blinking out. Not sure where he is. And I'm not sure if the 77 wants to kind of find his way down there, because I don't think he knows where he is. And it looks like Foster going to go up the inside. 4 wide. Almost 5 wide here. 4 wide for second. Somebody's going to have to let that 29 up there. They do, but there it is. Another big wreck. Unreal. And that's really not much you can do. I mean, they had to let him back up there. And I believe Butler just did exactly what he needed to do. That is an unbelievable feat. I believe he was leading at the caution. He got the caution flag to come out. And you see it right there. Looks like he was racing with Foster. Not sure if he was ahead of him or not. We'll see what the timing and scoring says. But if he was ahead of Foster, he gets the double. And we got to say that is the move of the night right there by Butler, if he did, because that will bring him 1 lap back the hard way and a 2nd lap back.
I'm trying to get that here. Where can I?
And I'm actually
here,
not
go
sure now,
here.
as it looks like Adam Jones is showing a lap down, so I'm not sure. Looks like he dropped out for packet loss, so we'll see how this all works out here. If Butler had the lead, trying to watch it right now, we'll try and watch out for the outside and see when those caution lights come on. Certainly very close.
Definitely trying to catch him, but it looks like he was still behind Kevin.
Yeah, still behind Kevin at this point, and still waiting to see if they cross with any kind of caution lights on. I'm not seeing them on that track now. So it'll be very interesting to watch how this plays out. The caution lights now for sure on. So maybe we'll have to go on board with the 77, see if he's on there. But either way, we're going to see it right now, and it looks like he's still showing 2 laps down. So I think he is still behind that 8 car. He will most likely get a. Actually, he did get a lap back, so he is going to be your lucky dog. He's only going to get 1 lap back, and that was almost just pure bliss for the 77. Unfortunately, he's going to need another caution here to get that 2nd lap back, but almost a perfect storm to get him back on the lead lap. But now I don't know. I mean, now we got green white checkers. I mean, there's no better way to, I guess, to finish off this season. A bit of a rough race tonight with a lot of these guys getting mixing up in here, and just bit of a racing incident there, unfortunately, and guys just not giving enough room, and really maybe not having enough room to give, letting guys back up on the track there, and that's what brought out our latest caution. But now we got our first green white checker. There's a max of 2, and lo and behold, your points leader Kevin Foster finding his way up to the front of this field.
Again, Carl, I mean, we talked about it earlier. Is that the spot you want to be? Are you a sitting duck? Are you gonna have to try to block? But you can't block 5 lanes of traffic. So we will see. As the lights are still on the pace car here, as these guys are coming down the front stretch. But Kevin Foster's now in first with Brandon Polt. Up there in 2nd place. Paul Owens finds himself up in 3rd with Abi Viswavasham in 4th. Tim Thompson in 5th, and he was a lap down not too long ago. Dave Simpson in 6th. John Crane in 7th. Brandon Mettler in 8th. Matt Crockett in 9th. Paul Butler in 10th. Terry Jansen in 11th. Jeremy Lyon Watkins in 12th. Adam Jones in 13th. And Jonathan Cogswell, obviously, in 14th. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys finish up. The racing's been hot and heavy and tight. We'll see if these guys can continue to get these laps in as we run into our green-white checkers. And I believe the lights are off on the pace car. Nope, they are still on.
Well, we just got a chance to talk to Brandon Mettler, honor that last caution right there, and he was your leader, and kind of discuss with him is at the right spot, and Jimmy mentioned it. Now we bring in Kevin Foster. You had the championship locked up, and you're in the right spot here. You're right where you want to be. You're in the lead. But again, I'll ask the same question that I asked Brandon Mettler under that last caution. Is first place really where you want to be on this restart here?
For me, yes. Only way I say that because I got Owens behind me. He's a very aggressive driver, but he's a hell of a pusher. So I know he's gonna do everything he can to at least get me out there before he tries to pass me. So it's I told the wife we're gonna be bringing home the checkered flag, or I'm bringing the steering wheel back downstairs. So one of the two, and we're gonna put this hopefully put this rusty thing in victory lane and put an exclamation point on this season here.
Well, it certainly would be good to retire the retired car there with a victory. So we'll let you to it out there. We'll wish you good luck, and maybe we'll talk to you in the victory circle here real soon.
All right, sounds good. Or you see me in the Info Care Center, one of the two.
Sounds like a plan, buddy. Good luck out there.
Later, guys.
Later.
Yeah, all right, we are about ready to go here onto the first green white checkered, and again, Jimmy, we talk about it every week. Who you got? I don't know. It could be Brandon Mettler all the way back there in 9th place, and he could have the lead by the end of this lap. Who knows? But either way, we are back under green here at Kansas, and exactly what Kevin said. He has the 54 of Owens pushing him right out to the lead. A great jump by those two. they are out there and clear of the field, but the rest of the field already starting to catch them back up, and we're about to have a battle come the backstretch once again. Crane looks like he is ready to try and make some moves as well. He's starting to get hungry back there. We'll see how long that 54 hangs with the 8, if he's going to try and push him the whole way or if he's going to try and make a move at some point himself. Simpson down on the apron in the back there. They were 3 wide, but everything getting sorted out right now. And we are single file, but coming to the white flag right now. And if they take the white, the next flag will end it. And there it is. Caution right before they take the white flag as the 08 is going to get turned to the infield. And you talk about split second.
Wow.
Kevin Foster had the win feet away from the line. And just like that, it gets pulled away, at least for the moment. We'll take a look back and see what happened there, as unfortunately Vishav Ashram getting caught up in another wreck right there. And it looks like the 78 of Terry Jansen coming up and getting into him pretty hard there. And looked like his mirror was hanging off on the right side there for a little bit, but that got fixed. But the left side, not so much, as maybe he's doing some end of the season donuts here as he's trying to get back going. He will get it back up on the track there, but a rough one there, and that's going to send us into our final overtime. And now is where it's going to get interesting, because Foster no longer has that 54 behind him. He's going to have that 54 side of him. But look who just got the wave around. The 77, Paul Butler,
my goodness.
will get his second lap back. And, with less than 10 laps to go, he's 2 laps down. His race is over. He's got to be thinking, all right, let's just run this out. We'll see what happens. But I don't think there was much of a chance that he thought he was going to have it getting back on the lead lap. He's back in the lead lap. He's in 10th. We've seen how quick you can go from the back to the front. Don't count out that 77 just yet.
This is going to be crazy. Here it comes.
Well, Jimmy, last restart of the season coming up here, and this thing is going to stay green. Regardless of what happens here, the cars all over the track, doesn't matter. This thing is going to stay green to the end. Once they take this green flag, they're not going to end the season under caution. So this is kind of going to be a 2-lap enduro, 2-lap endurance race here. Who is going to last is going to be the winner, I think, is what it's going to come down to. But I wouldn't be surprised if we have a battle all the way to the line, and the race being determined by less than a tenth of a second once again.
If they're going to be 5 wide, they're going to tie. I'm calling it. 5 wide.
Yep.
One going backwards. Another one upside down.
Yep. Where's Mr. Bassam? He's been on top of a couple cars tonight. We'll make sure he's on top of another one. But I mean, what a turn of events here again for the 77 of Paul Butler, being a really dominant car and hanging out front and staying away from most of the damage all night, getting caught up in a late incident. He's back on track now. He won last night in the Premier Series, so he knows he's coming in on a high right here, and this is just going to feel like uncanny for maybe getting the way wave around here and back into the field. He's going to start tail end of the field, so he'll be behind the weight of Sebastian there. But wow, I mean, that lane of bottle, and it's for him right here late in the race. So we'll see what he can do. See if he can make it all the way back front and maybe challenge for the after.
Yeah, he's definitely, obviously right there, as it looks like maybe Dane and Simpson decided to take some fresh tires there at the last moment to see if he can get a great run to finish it up. Maybe he was running. I don't think you take much fuel. You don't want your car to be heavier. You want it to be as fast as possible. So, I can't wait to see what this ending's going to be like, because it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this whole season's been pretty boring, so I'm not expecting much here for this last restart stuff. So go ahead and tuck yourself in bed. There's not going to be much action here. We only got 2 laps less in the season. Let's just go ahead and wrap this up. And I'll start yawning now.
You better save your voice here for about the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Let me just go ahead and get a drink and prepare this thing. I'll go quiet for about 5 minutes here, and see what happens. So it's gonna be crazy. I mean, again, we still got 10 guys on the lead lap. Every single one of them, doesn't matter if it's Paul Butler all the way back in 10th or Kevin Foster in first. With this draft and the side draft and how much run you can get with these guys, anybody in the top 10 has a chance at this win yet. And there's a lot of guys out there that would love to get that first win of the season, even though it's on the last night of the race or last night of the season.
Last night of the season, newcomers run around in the top 5, 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. These guys just do not stop. Pace car is in, and they're about to go green.
Who is going to get the jump now? Kevin Foster on the loud pedal for the last time of the season. He gets a great jump out there. But the 54 not able to clear the 11 on the inside. John Crane, who's been making some really bold moves tonight, is going to get there into second place, but he's not going to be able to clear the 54, at least not yet. The 05 of Tim Thompson, who came from the depths as well, he is up there battling for third and fourth. They're on the backstretch and already dancing around right now. Looks like John Crane trying to find a way either past Kevin or he's just trying to push him, but we got 2 lines of guys pushing right now, and look who is making that third line appearance. Paul Butler back in the mix right here. As long as everybody stays off the wall, everything is good here. We are taking the white flag, and there it is, Jimmy. I think I was about 6 wide coming to the line. 1 lap to go in the season, and there's the big one. Unfortunately, taking out a bunch of guys, and look at who is going to finish this race, as it is a 2-car battle. Only Kevin Foster and Tim Thompson left in this race. Who's going to get the run back to the line?
Can Tim pull this off? Tim has been there for the majority of the season, and boys, he got to run on the outside. Can he keep that momentum up?
He leads going into the corner into 3. They are side by side. Kevin trying to go up there and trying to block any kind of run that he's got. Kevin wants to finish this thing on top, but the 05 of Tim Thompson wants to deny him one last time. Who's going to get it? Foster down to the inside. Tim Thompson to the outside. It's going to be... I think it's a dead heat. I think it's a tie. I think Jimmy called it.
They did it. 0-0-0. And Tim Thompson gets the win by some miracle number in there. Oh, my goodness.
I looks like on my screen, I'm showing Kevin Foster as the winner by .001. Certainly unofficial at this point, and certainly got to run this thing back and watch that thing all the way to the end. When are we doing this season again? I'm just with the drivers and the fans now. I can't wait till this thing comes back. I mean, unbelievable. Pretty much the entire field taken out. All we're left with is 2 cars. It can't be that exciting, can it? And they come by, and it's pretty much a dead heat at the line. Unbelievable.
See if I can. Jeez, no.
I mean, maybe the blimp view, something. I don't know. If there's a gopher view to see it, I mean, yeah, this is probably your best view, and you see it right there. Tim Thompson ahead, and Kevin Foster just hooking that inside with all of his might. And just getting it. I mean, it's tight. It's tight, guys. I mean, iRacing is giving it to Foster. We're gonna have to take a look at this thing, and we've seen races turned over before by the naked eye calling something different. So we'll see how everything switches out here. But unbelievable finish. I don't even know who finished third. I don't even know who finished the race. I mean, this is unbelievable. Looks like one of our newcomers, Brendan Poltz, will come home in third. So great job by him for bringing that thing home. But wow, what a finish!
That was crazy because at the timing tower we had Tim Thompson and Kevin Foster at .000. And then obviously with the race results, they gave it to Kevin with a .001. So, and I'm not looking at the iRacing scoreboard there, Carl. So, I mean, if you could pull it up and just double check that. But yeah, I mean, this is what we have so far. Our race results would be Kevin Foster in first, Tim Thompson in second, Brendan Polt in third, Matt Crockett in fourth, John Crane in fifth, Dane Simpson in sixth, Abhi Vishwavasan finishing in seventh, Paul Owens in eighth, Brandon Mettler in ninth, Paul Butler finishing in 10th, Terry Jansen in 11th, Jeremy Watkins in 12th, Adam Jones in 13th, and 14th being Jonathan Cogswell. So it was one heck of a night tonight, Carl, and just to see these guys finish like that, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of words that I can use. Some may not be appropriate for viewing here, but just yeah, unbelievable with these guys finishing here at the end, and we'll get to see it one more time here how close it was, but I mean, just unbelievable for the entire season, and to finish like that again. We would love to see everybody fighting it out there, having a chance at the win, but once it broke down to two cars, the action didn't stop. I mean, it was still just unbelievably close. So obviously, we'll let the officials try and wrap up who actually won this race. But in the meantime, let's bring in one of our newcomers here, and first night here in core, and certainly seen a lot of action in front of you, beside you, behind you, pretty much everywhere. Looked like you were one of the few that was able to at least somewhat escape that last couple lap carnage there and bring it home in third. What do you think for your first night here in core?
I'm shocked, honestly. I walk into this race about an hour ago expecting not much, and we came home with a P3 on a hectic final lap. I'll admit it was exciting, especially for it to be my first ever core race. I've been in the Cup Series recruitment race before. It seemed like a good group, and this just brought up my morale with this group even higher. So I can't wait for the beginning of the Cup season.
Yeah, I mean these guys in this series the entire year. If you look back at any of the previous broadcasts, have just been unbelievable all year. It didn't matter if it was a 5 lap shootout or a 60 lap race. As soon as they seen the green flag, they're 3, 4, 5 wide, and you've seen it a bunch of times here tonight. And I know you experienced some of it. And what was it like driving this car around there and pretty much constantly feeling like there's a guy inside and outside of you the entire time?
It was a different feeling. I'm used to racing ovals with the Arca and whatnot, but running with an MX-5 is different. And basically, pack racing around Kansas, it was basically a mile and a half Daytona, which was fun to be honest. And like you said, there was inside, outside. I'm bumping the 77. It was hectic, but again, it was a great race.
Well, absolutely. I loved having you here, and glad you got a good taste here on the first night, your first kind of official race here in core. So good job out there for the third
Thank you.
place and grabbing the podium. Anybody you want to send a shout out to or any thanks you want to give?
Parents, my dad, he's been waiting for me to go to bed because tomorrow's a school night, and he's kind of ticked. I don't blame him. I'm up here a lot later than I should be, so I'm
But you
gonna
can
get
at
yeah,
least tell me you're going to sleep with a podium. So
at least with a
you got
podium. I
something.
gotta if you watched Olivia Strong a couple months ago, I got another third there. This is just adding on, so
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
add on to the podium for the night.
All right, well, congratulations, and we'll be seeing you soon once the Cup season starts turning around here.
Yep, I'll see you soon. Thanks for the races. I'll see you later.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, that was your official third place finisher of Brendan Polt, the number 29. Now, for now, Jimmy will bring in what is being called by iRacing as your second place finisher, still under review. But why don't you go ahead and talk to Tim Thompson?
Tim, I'm having a hard time calling this one, buddy. Like, I think I got the best picture on the stream right now that I could get. And Kevin's rust spec is over the line just a little more than yours. 0.001, brother. 0.001. You almost had that.
I almost had it. It was tough. It was tough. You get stuck in that middle lane, and the car wants to move around. It's bobbing back and forth, and it bit me early on the race. I went 2 laps down, and I got back on the lead lap and almost got my first win.
Yeah, you definitely did that. And, if it can't get any closer I mean, when I first went across, I didn't have any results or anything, and my timing tower showed 0.000, and then your name was on top. I was like, "Oh, he got it! Tim got it!" And you know, after the iRacing did its little thing, and you were just edged out. It looks like, but definitely a great comeback. 2 laps down, back to the lead lap to almost win at the final race of the season. You showed improvement all season long. You've been there, and it's just, it's good to see you up there fighting for the lead. Your driving's getting better, and you're just in it, and it's starting to show. So this is a good way to end the season. Hopefully, whatever series that you decide to join that's coming up, you do well there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a great series. It had some great racing. I learned a lot. I just have to avoid some of the mistakes. So I had a good season.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you had a great season. And again, congratulations. We'll give you this time to give any shout outs and anybody you want to give thanks to.
Actually, I would like to thank Kevin Hollywood Foster for the mentoring, for all the tips that he's given me. I almost beat him. I want to thank Kevin. I want to thank you guys in the booth for all the hard work. You guys do a great job. All the guys in core for racing clean and having good attitudes. And I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with me in my racing. So thanks, guys.
You're definitely welcome, and definitely can't forget the misses on that, or they have to put up with us, every day. So it's definitely good that they allow us to get a little free time to do what we'd like to do. But again, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you back up here and in whatever series that you've decide to attend.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate it, and thank you, Carl, for putting on core. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks.
Absolutely, buddy. It wouldn't go without you guys driving out there.
Thank you very much.
All right. Unfortunately, that was your second place finisher by, I mean, maybe still not official, as we'll have to make sure that that 8 car goes ahead and passes through spec and make sure that the rust is kind of filed off as it needs to be, as it looks like some extra oxidation is what got you the win there tonight, Kevin. 0.001. I mean, pardon my French, but are you freaking kidding me?
Well, the paint was chipping on the front bumper, and I think that's what crossed the finish line first.
I called it. I called that too. See, I'm doing good tonight, Carl. Ties.
On that last restart, Jimmy called a tie for the win, and he damn near got it. I mean, you guys have put on just some fabulous racing all season long, some ridiculously close finishes. And I mean, obviously, we can call this the closest finish in core history at 0.0. I mean, on our relatives and on our overlays, it was calling it as 0.000. So it's even less than 0.001 is what iRacing is calling it. But I mean, just ridiculous finish, and just try if you can to take us through the last restart there.
So I took the bottom. I know John was behind me, and Owens was on the top. And I was like, well, let me try the bottom again. Got out to a good start. I even called my restart in Discord there, trying to get, because I didn't want to get out to a big lead, and those guys would come storming back. John gave me a good push down the backstretch, and then I don't know what happened behind. I don't like there was cars flipping. There was a somersault. There was a rainbow. The Toys R Us giraffe was in my mirror for 3 seconds. I was like, what is going on here? It's like flashbacks. And then all the smoke cleared behind me, and then Tim popped up out of nowhere, scared the living daylights out of me. He had a big run on the outside, so we dove it off into one. He was still coming. He inched out ahead there. I kind of ran him up a little bit in 3 and 4, and I cut it to the bottom off of 4, and I didn't know who won. I was looking over the whole time. I'm looking over. I was like, congratulations, he got it. He's got it. He's got it. You're the winner. I'm like, what? 2 weeks ago, we said the closest, and I finished behind Adam. It was 0.06, and that was the closest Miata finish in history. And to finish off the season finale here, 0.001, that's the closest finish in core history.
Yeah, I think that this makes 2 weeks ago at Nashville just seem like an absolute blowout. I mean, just it looked like with that wreck happening, it looked like you got tagged just a little bit and kind of slowed you down, and that's what helped give Tim a good run because I think he got through that wreck pretty cleanly, and that's what gave him a big run. And he actually led down the backstretch into turn 3, and I believe even off turn 4 as you guys were coming down to the tri-oval, and he was still in the lead. And it was that move to the inside that really did it for you. And I mean, was it just kind of a split-second decision? Was that always going to be your decision to go all the way down to the grass, or did you, think maybe side drafting him and was going to give you a better option, or
No,
what was going through your head there?
I tried to run him up just a little bit, exiting 4, and then I knew I was going to cut to the bottom, and I knew he had a bumper out in front of me, and looking back, I wished him would have turned it down just a little bit, shaved off that 0.001 seconds. But yeah, I was going to run to the grass, and thankfully we didn't scrape off the paint off the front bumper because that's what got us the victory tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I know there's plenty of people you want to thank. Obviously, you got Barry, you got Kelly out there rooting you on pretty much week in and week out. So you got your fans a win there as well as Lucia too. So go ahead and give us one last rundown of everybody. Thank you for the season and for this big win here at the end.
Thanks to everyone. This season, my first championship here in the Core Racing League. Hell of a season. Thank you to all the guys, week in, week out. These cars are so much fun, and as Tim mentioned there, the great group of guys, good camaraderie between everybody. Fun to be a part of this league. Thanks to my beautiful wife downstairs, Barry. Thank you for all your support all season and all racing leagues here in the Core Racing League. Mama, that one's for you, and thank you guys for putting it on. I wish you guys knew how much we appreciate what you guys do up there in the booth, and you guys do a fantastic job. And we're probably gonna we're gonna take the motor and the rims and tires off Rusty here, and we're gonna stick it up in the tree, and we might bring her down in a couple years for maybe another season of this.
Yeah, I want to park. I want to park her too far, considering she's 4 of 4 every time you've ran that paint scheme.
Yeah, she's 4 of 4, so yeah, she's good, and we'll put her up in the tree for safekeepings, and maybe in another year or so we'll get to come back and do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, a lot of you guys, drivers out there, wanting to see this series return quicker than possible, and even some of the fans out there. I mean, you guys put on great battles the
Yes.
entire season, and I mean, we appreciate the shout outs that you give us for the broadcast, but honestly, it goes right back to you guys. If you guys didn't put on the shows that you did, it would make the broadcasting that much tougher. But it's just an absolute blast every week, and every
Yeah.
time it comes down to the last couple laps. I mean, Jimmy had to remind me to take a drink there before the last caution because he knew I was probably going to lose my voice watching you guys coming to the end there. So
I mean,
great job.
did
It's
you
fun.
see the 4 wide for the lead?
I don't know if it was 4 wide or if it was 6. It was pretty damn
Well,
close
it
to
was
6.
4
I gotta
wide, and then
say.
there was like 3 right behind tucked in. And man, it was incredible racing here tonight. And big shout out to Tim Thompson. As he mentioned, I kind of took Tim into my wing a little bit, and just any words of advice or any tips I can give him, and that goes out to anyone out there. And Tim, I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, he had a heck of a comeback himself, not just to try and get this win from you, but he was 2 laps down, pretty much right in the middle of that race. So a great job of him coming back there and almost making the full comeback and getting that win. But great job by you guys all season, and want to thank you guys for putting on just a great season and making it just so easy for me and Jimmy up here in the booth. And certainly look forward to maybe at some point this series returning. And right now we got a week off and then a week until the IndyCar series. And are you going to be looking to partake in that and maybe try and get a second championship?
I think I'm gonna partake in every one of them, at least part time on a couple of them. But I'm definitely looking forward to the Xfinity series and the Truck series. That's more of my strong point. But you never know. I might win a couple races and might have to stick it out to the finish.
All right, we'll see what kind of rusty IndyCar you bring out in a couple weeks here to start the season at Texas. But Congratulations once again, and congratulations on the win, the championship, everything, all your success that you've been going through right now. Obviously, probably helps. Tonight helps to kind of clear the wounds a little bit from the Premier Series last night, as you're gonna have to fight for that playoff for the wild card right now.
Yeah, last night was tough. It sucked, being ahead of the cut line, and then what happened. But we got 2 more races or 3 races, so we'll see what happens.
We
All
will.
right, sounds good. Well, we will let you go for tonight. Once again, congratulations on the season, on the win, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That was your winner by a clear margin of 0-0-1 tonight over Tim Thompson. Again, just unbelievable finish, and this will certainly be sent into iRacing, not just for review, but for them to see what these Mazdas can do when you put them out of their elements and get a bunch of good guys driving together, and what kind of finish they can put on out there.
Yeah, I mean, the car's just overlooked. It's a lot of fun, and the guys are able to drive it, and it just produces good racing, good habits, especially when people are, good sportsmanship around each other, and it just becomes a lot of fun for these guys, and to see them come out here, have fun, get their wins, learn, almost get their wins, and just continue to improve and just carry whatever they learn here onto their next series. And since I've been here for the last 2 years in core, I've seen people progress. So people that think they're not progressing, they are. Truth be told, take your races outside of core and go to an official, and you will see the major improvement from on the last time you were there. Besides the standard official accidents, we'll call them. But no, these are great. These are great cars. These are great guys. Great league, great series, and yeah, I can't wait to come back. I mean, I know it'll come back. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. I mean, I had a blast doing this thing the whole season, and as much as I'd love to get in the cars and mix it up with these guys, I'm not sure I got the nerve for it. I mean, watching these guys go around the way they do, and I mean, I get nervous for them just sitting up in the booth and watching them. But it's been a blast the entire season. That's gonna do it for the Mazda MX-5 Oval Series, at least for now. Again, like Jimmy said, it's gonna go on the shelf for now. We're gonna bring out the Indy cars in a couple weeks here. So I want to thank everybody that was out there watching tonight. Send a shout out there to Kelly out there watching. I know Barry's out there watching as well. So hope you liked everything out there. If you're still watching or if you're about to watch, make sure you like and subscribe, as if you want to see any kind of good action, you're going to catch it right here on CRN. And next race that we got out there is going to be this Thursday night, as the Core Vintage Cup Series is going to head to Wine Country out there at the Sonoma Raceway. And certainly going to be fun to watch that one. And I don't know if we're necessarily going to get a .001 finish for those guys, but at this point, who knows? I mean, these guys surprise me week in and week out. So maybe we'll have guys spinning around there for the finish. Who knows? But if you subscribe, you'll certainly be able to tap into everything that we put out there. So that's gonna do it for myself and Jimmy, and for the Mazda MX-5 Oval Series. Signing out. We will catch you at the track.
Peace.